تحية حارة من القلب لكم مشاهدينا، وأهلا وسهلا فيكم بحلقة جديدة من برنامجكم الأسبوعي برنامج أمنيات. اليوم عنا حلقة خاصة خبرناكم عنها بالحلقات الماضية، والحلقة الخاصة لأنه رح نتعرف فيها سوا على شخصية كندية مميزة بمجال الفن، وهالشخصية هي فيليب عزيز. بشرفنا أنه فيليب عزيز يكون من أصل لبناني. إذا مشاهدينا خلينا نشوف سوا هالمقابلة مع فيليب عزيز.
Born April 15, 1923, Philip Aziz is an internationally acclaimed Canadian master artist featured in the Words and Canada's Book of Who's Who. He lives in London, Ontario, and is of a Lebanese descent. Philip Aziz graduated from Yale University with a Bachelor and Master of Fine Arts, after which he traveled the world, living alternately in New York City and London, Ontario, where he resides today in his designated heritage home, studio, and art gallery at 150 Philip Aziz Avenue. The street was named in honor of Aziz during London's 150th anniversary as an incorporated city in 2005.
My father is from Untitled, wonderful little village in northern Lebanon, and my mother was from Zahle, a beautiful, beautiful city with extraordinary people and the vineyards all around it, and the river, the Wadi River, I think it's called, goes through it. It's a beautiful little town. What did they used to tell me about Lebanon? The grapes, always talking about, we used to sleep in the chrome. They would sleep there at night, you know, in the beautiful chrome, because it was hot weather, you know. I mean, that would be lovely. I would like to do that, you know, and I would say how cozy and how wonderful that was. And then they would talk about the snow, and I said, oh my God, snow in Lebanon. And it's wonderful. And then they would talk about the food they would eat, and the people they met, and the parties they would go to. It was very unique, you know. They had a happy life. Short though it was in Lebanon, and the rest of it here. I remember the priest next door in the school that I went to said, I'd like to see the little boy from the Middle East. And I thought, a little boy from the Middle East? We don't have, I was only 6 years old. We don't have a little boy in our class from the Middle East, probably some dope who walks around on a donkey. And somebody said, don't say that. Jesus walked around on a donkey. I said, oh my God. So anyway, the priest came, and there's a sister, Sister Francis Teresa, and she was snapping her finger, Philip, the priest wants to talk to you. And I thought, to me, what is it you want? He says, oh, you're the little boy from the Middle East. I said, no, I'm from London. I was born in St. Thomas, Ontario, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he says, your name is Philip Aziz. Philip Aziz, as was and always will be. And that stuck with me for a long time, and I hated it, but now I think it's very funny, you know. Philip Aziz, Philip Aziz, as is, as was, and always will be. I aspired, believe it or not, this very bad guy aspired to be a priest one day when I was a young man. And I had this vision of excellence and high standard and so on. And it's very, very strong and very much part of me. Almost, perhaps almost too strong. But there it was, and things had to be of the highest order, of the highest plane, or else I wouldn't want to deal with it. And people had to be morally perfect, not perfect, but morally sound, you know, and so on. And I felt that had to exist in art as well. Keep the standard as high as you can go. When an artist says, well, I'm going to this point here, but I'm not going to go any further, I used to say, why can't you? Use your imagination and soar. Go up with the clouds. Get up there. Do it. growing up was wonderful. My teacher was Sister Perpetua, who was one of the very special people in my life. And she said to me, to all the kids, here's a Union Jack on the bulletin board up there. I want you all to draw it. And there was this moan that came from the students. Oh, horrible. I thought, oh boy, this is easy. So I got my paper, I had my crayons, and I said, I'm going to put a fold in the flag, because after all, it's cloth. I'm going to put it on a pole, and I'm going to put a beautiful blue sky with light blue, knowing the kids would press heavily on their crayons and give you a dark blue, and then some fluffy white clouds. And I started to draw this. And then after a while, the nun came over and she saw that drawing, and she stopped me and picked it up and looked at it and cupped my face in her hands. And she said, Philip, you are going to be an artist.